Hello, this is Stefan with Warm Inside. Welcome.
Okay, as soon as I pulled this out of the mold, I immediately knew that my mold had failed. Kind of see a little bit of mess there. Nah, I mean, sucks, but that's a bummer. But this, whew, that's a no-go. Same with this. It's funny enough, this is made out of a 0030 Ecoflex. Trying to decide if that's an issue. I don't know that that's an issue, but it just looks weird and may not work. That being said, what's the next step? Well, I looked at the mold. When I made this mold, I immediately knew that there was a problem. If you look right here, this is so thin that it kind of flops out. Yeah, I've been working on this without my gear on because I know it's trash. So what do? Cut it open. I just wanted to see what's going on. This is again an 0030. I wouldn't suggest that for molds like this. I mean, this one's an interesting one since the head is so much thicker than the shaft. When you pour it out, the 0030 is nice, but I definitely, if I was gonna do it again, I need to make it, at the very least, the wall's thicker. This 0030 you could just kind of rip by hand if you get it too thin like that. But yeah, we can look in there. Interesting. Okay, so sorry, that was the bottom of the mold. I was confused there for a sec, looking through this camera. Just junk that I had on my tray, and this was actually some orange that I was pouring from something else. If you can see here, there wasn't quite enough. So I poured a few other pours on top, and this was actually the stick from this pour. Interestingly enough, it's totally stuck on there, which I would pretty much expect. But yeah, looking in there, like I said, wall is too thin for this kind of mold, or for this kind of pour. This is all wasted rubber. I need to figure out a better way to do that if possible. But where we're really looking at is this right in here. That right there is a failure. Let's see if I can get this camera to, and that right there. And both of these, I am pretty sure I know exactly what happened. I'm at the end of my 1 gallon for this 0030, or I was at the end. And every once in a while, if you don't get a really good mix on those ends, you gotta be careful. You get chunks. And I thought I'd got them all out and mixed them all out. But what happens, as you can see, is they settle on the bottom. And when they do, you'll wind up with this crap. So, I mean, my lesson is just be careful. Don't bother with that little last bit. Just let it go. It's not worth your money or time. I mean, if you want to try a cast with it like this wouldn't have been a big loss. Luckily, this is a small mold. As you can see, it fits in my hand, so it's not that big, so it's not a huge loss. I don't know. Be interesting to know. I should weigh it, but it's probably somewhere around 7-8 ounces. You know, it sucks. It drives up cost and everything like that, but you know, I have a high experiment rate, high failure, well, not high failure rate, high rate of trying things that are learning experiences. And again, this one was just me being stupid in one way. The thin walls was just me being stupid. The bottom here was just, I saw this when I poured it. I saw something and I wasn't exactly sure what it was. I thought it would settle out. Apparently it settled right on top of the mold. Not because obviously this was when it was made. Put it all back together. It was made like this, right? And so that came out of there. But when you flip it and cast, or when you make it, sorry, and make it, it was like this, right? And then when I flip it and cast it, it goes in here. So it sat, literally, it must have chunked and sat right on the top there of the actual original plastic that was in there to create the mold. Well, another failure. That's okay. We'll get it. Other part of that is that means some more time to order some more rubber. I don't know. I like the Smooth-On. I order it from Reynolds. They're over here in Dallas is one of their locations. Works for me. A little bit of shipping cost. I don't drive up there and pick it up, but man, that is just a bummer. Again, I'm glad it happened on this little mold. I've had the same kind of issues, not the exact same issue, but I've had bubbles, stuff like that, form in molds that were, 7-8 pounds of rubber, and that really blew. That's it.